You know, this particular buck could be my favorite buck crossbar lock that I've ever had. And this is the Buck 791. I love the features of this thing, the Magna Cut steel, the Boss heat treat, just so super well done. Matter of fact, when I lost this at a security checkpoint, I had to get my hands back on it and get my hands on another one because it's so freaking awesome, just how much I love this thing. So Buck tells me, hey X, we're coming out with a bunch of new stuff, some made in America, some made overseas, to try to help save people some money. Do you want to check them out? I said, of course. This is not sponsored. Buck did send me these knives, but they're not paying me for this video. As a matter of fact, they don't even get to see it before it goes live. So we're going to go no face, no case on this one. This one particularly, we're going to be doing on top of my EDC tray. So this is supported by folks that like to buy this from my website. I'm going to be dropping drop number 3 of these very, very soon. Walnut wood, has the Go Pound Sand in there, the Insert Tears logo there you go. So you can support the channel by checking those out. All right, so let's just check out some of these bad boys. This one is a made in China. This is the Nomad. Okay, so we got the Nomad here. I like how they differentiate these. They're not trying to fake the funk. One clearly says made in America, one clearly says doesn't have the logo on there at all, which lets you know it's not a made in America buck. So we'll start with the China buck. This is the Nomad. All right, so let's see what we got here. You got the forever warranty, really good warranty. Send in for repairs, sharpening to, okay, so you can literally send this in for sharpening, for repairs. If you have any issues with hardware, they got a good warranty at Buck. Look at this crossbar lock. This thing, man, I'm loving this scales on here. I'm wondering, hold on, let me see. They sent some documents that kind of help guide me through these. Look at this. I mean, you got this freaking anodized aluminum scales. They have a little bit of ribbing on there, which kind of just gives a little bit more for you to hold on to when you're holding this in your hand. D2 blade steel. You're branded with Buck. You're branded with D2 on the back of this. Crossbar lock, first time opening it. Very nice. I will say that this crossbar lock doesn't feel like the actual pivot to deactivate or to send the blade back home. I like the way this particular ramp system works. It feels on this one here, but this knife is significantly more money than you're going to get on this Buck Nomad right here. So I really like this anodized aluminum. I think this looks fantastic. So just a really good feeling knife. It's going to be a great banger if you're trying to save yourself some money. MSRP on this is going to be 95 bucks. That's a good starting price to get something from Buck. And competitively speaking, you're probably gonna get a D2 knife cheaper than 95 bucks. But with the forever warranty with a company like Buck and getting this service, you're probably gonna have an easier time getting something like this service than getting something from a no-name company that maybe cost you, you know, 40 bucks or whatever. Plus, I'm sure this will have some type of deals or sales. I'll link any of these up down below, plus any discounts that I see. These are just launching, so they probably going to be full price, but you know, never know. We'll see how it goes. This one here is the Ferox. Okay, so we got the Ferox here. This one is also made in China. All right, same type of packaging. So this one gives you a different type of flavor on here. You're still getting the anodized aluminum, whereas this one is giving you a Tonto blade. And so you really just going to be like, what do you want when it comes to the blade shape, the aluminum color, and the placement of the lanyard hole? Just subtle differences between the two. So just out the box, I think I like the Ferox a little bit more for the Tanto blade. It's really good for utility cuts when you're holding a blade like this and you're cutting into a surface. It's really good for that stuff like that. It does feel good. I love the placement of the actual lanyard hole back here. And you know, other than that, not a ton to write home to mom about. It's kind of just like pick your poison. Whichever one kind of works out more for you is going to be the one that you want to go with. Let's go with our first made in America buck. This is the Mustang. Oh, you can immediately just feel the difference. You can feel the difference immediately. This is also MSRP at less than 100 bucks, 94 bucks ish. You're still getting a pretty good deal with the pricing wise on this. This one does have a lock back, so you can almost whip it open, but it does kind of have a hard stop. You have to really give it a whip. But I really like the action on this. So it has a lot of spine jipping, which we'll talk about here in a second. This one here is just fantastic feel when it comes to this anodized aluminum. It almost feels like chalk, right? It's not leaving anything on my actual hands, but it feels like chalk. Stonewash finish on the blade. Really good looking knife, made in America, 428C with the Boss heat treatment of Buck. So that means that Buck made this their BITCH with the heat treat. Really good when they do stuff like that. I love the way this pocket clip looks. I mean, if you had to make me choose, okay, other than the fact that this is not a crossbar lock, which maybe you want that faster redeployment, and that's why you're going to be looking at something like the Ferox or the Nomad versus this one. But if you just say right out the gate, this one is just so much thinner than either of these other two. It's just like they really were just going for the thinness monster on this. It is really, really thin, really nice feeling on this one. I gotta give them a lot. I really like the way that this Mustang feels. Of course, it is modeled. It has the inspiration from the Mustang from World War II. So you're getting just a clean lines, very aerodynamic. It almost feels like I'm holding a wing of an aircraft in my hand. And I like the fact that this thing is coming in at less than $100. You're getting a made in America buck. This one feels good. I like this one a ton. And then we kind of move on to some of the fixies. So we got a good chunk of fixed blades here. This is made in America. This one here is the Ranger Thin. So this is not, you know, I like when they come up with like any of like the Range Elites or anything like that. I like the naming systems of those. They feel really good. Very good unboxing experience on this one. Type of box you might even keep for a while. This is fantastic. See, this is what they like to do. This is where they've come up with these knives, which are extremely popular, right? So if you're getting like the Buck 110s, if you're getting the Buck 112s, either one, a lot of times they're not this thin. I wish I had a regular Buck 110 or Buck 112 to show you. They're not this thin. They don't come with a pocket clip. They've done so many things here where they've made the Buck 110 and the Buck 112 just that much more thin. Let me open up this one here just to kind of show you what you're getting with either one of these, okay? So really all about what sizing do you want. You want the Buck 110, which is going to come in with a blade length of 3.7 inches, or do you want the Buck 112, which is going to be a blade shape of 3 inches? Real snappy, feels fantastic. Just look how small that is. Kind of fits in your hand. I love a good Buck 110 or Buck 112. And these are just like great starter knives to give someone that you love, that you know that they themselves, they're like, what defines a buck knife? It's these knives, okay? Much more thin. It has the wood in here, which feels the genuine ebony wood that you're gonna get in here, which you get the nickel silver bolsters in here. And it has everything that you could imagine a buck to be, but with a significant upgrade, because with the clip point blade, you're getting Magna Cut. And a Magna Cut on a Buck 110 and a Buck 112, I think this might be a first. Someone let me know down below if I'm tripping. Maybe they've done it before, but I can't remember a Buck 110 or a Buck 112. For me personally, I would probably go with the 112. I mean, I just know myself a little bit smaller, but the clip point is just God tier when it comes to all sorts of silly cuts you want to do with a knife. This is the type of knife that you get and you pass down for years and years to come. These are both going to MSRP a little bit below and above $300. So this one, the Buck 110 here, is going to run you $275. Made in America, clip point Magna Cut. This one's going to run you $225. Same thing. I love that they added the pocket clip. Some things here you have to take note of. This is not ambidextrous, okay? This is definitely set up for a right hand, you know, someone that's right-handed, but because of the walk and talk and how you open these up, I mean, these things are just fantastic. So those are some great options for you. I'm a big old fan of the way those look and the way that those function. Now, some of the fixies that we got going on here. This one is a Made in America fixed blade. This is the Alpha Scout. Let's see what we're working with the Alpha Scout. Alpha Scout, okay, I think all these are going to come with a good chunk of items, which I'm liking. First off, you get the Kydex sheath, okay? And you also get inside the bag a way for you to connect the sheath. So you can connect the sheath with an over-the-top belt type holder, okay? So they give you the option. I like the fact it doesn't come connected. So you can hook this up if you want to, or maybe you have a DCC or Alti clip that you already plan on putting this thing on, or you just want to use zip ties and tie this directly to your gear, because these are going to be some of their newest fixed blades that I think are really affordable. They look really good. Let's get all these out. So we got the little Scout here. This one is the Alpha Hunter. All right, so it should be a little bit bigger. Should come with the same stuff. Also made in America. There you go. Still getting the same accessories with it. So the Alpha Hunter is going to run you $125. This Scout should run you $114. And then we have the Guide here, which is going to run you $120. So it's just really going to be about blade length, which one works for you. I guess for me personally, like which one jumps out at me for the perfect, most practical camping type of knife is probably going to be the Guide right here, mainly because of the amount of blade that you're getting on this. You're getting that drop point. The blade is 4.375 inches. And also all of these are Cerakoted 420HC. Cerakoted makes great resistance for the outdoor materials. And then you get the 420HC, which is good for outdoor use, and you get the Boss Heat treat that's coming in from Buck, so you know it's going to be really, really good. So the scales themselves are this like rubber and glass fill nylon. Okay, so it's a mixture of the two. This feels really, really good. The scales feel fantastic. It does come with a lanyard hole, so if you want to put a retention mechanism on here, you're going to have the ability to do that with this bad boy. I like this guide. It's the biggest one. It feels like the most useful, but for everyday carry, I mean, you gotta keep it real with yourself. The one that's going to be the most beneficial for you is going to be the Scout. Okay, so you do get the smaller footprint with the Scout. The Scout itself is 2.875 inches. Everything else about it is still the same. You got the Cerakoted drop point 420HC blade steel, but it's significantly smaller, and you can use this in an everyday carry type of situation. I probably wouldn't use this belt attachment that they give. I probably would see if I can get an Alti clip on here or DCC clip on here, or zip tie it directly to my gear. So the Goldilocks for me probably would be this here. The actual Hunter itself, I think this one would probably be the one I like. Put on my rucking vest. I like all these. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. These, the new backcountry series, I don't know how many knives are in their backcountry series, if this is like they're just adding to it, if this is brand new, but these knives right here, I really like the way they feel. And I haven't cut shit with them, so I don't know how well they're gonna actually function, but when it comes to just like how they look and how they feel out of the box, which ones X would you own if you had to make a decision? I would get particularly the Scouts for EDC, and then I would have the Guide as my kind of like camp kitchen knife. It just screams like, use me to cut sausage or to cut vegetables while you're camping. Maybe won't have the same type of, because of the blade shape a little bit and the grind on it, maybe won't have the same abilities as its slightly smaller brother here, the Hunter. But I really like where they're going with this. Buck is really knocking it out the park, bro. Super duper knocking it out the park. Which one of all of these, if you had to really make a choice and decide which one it was going to be for you, I'm wondering which one would you snatch up? Or am I like completely tripping and none of these are worth it? Buck is definitely keeping themselves relevant, and I'm super glad that they're deciding to come out with some new stuff now. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you a part of Battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, with everyone else, we'll speak soon.